This might be the most confusing and potentially misleading inflation data we've seen all year. On the surface, the data looks great. Headline inflation came in at 2.7%, and core CPI fell to 2.6%, which would be the lowest reading since 2021. But something is definitely going on with this data. For one, there was the government shutdown. So in October, they didn't collect any price data. And then in November, they did collect data, but it was late in the month, and that was after the Black Friday discounts went into effect. But there's an even bigger problem in the data. You see, the CPI, it doesn't collect data for every single price every single month. They skip some prices every month because it would just be too impossible to go collect prices on every single good and service. So for the data that they didn't collect in October, they assumed inflation was zero, that prices were flat, and they carried that forward into November, which biased the inflation data downward. It would be like if you wanted to measure temperature increases in the United States between May and July, and you collected data in every single state in May, but then in July you only collected data for half the states and assumed that the temperature increases in those other states were flat. Of course, that would bias down your estimates of how much temperatures were increasing across the country. This is why economists, including Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell, are urging caution when interpreting this inflation data. If inflation was actually cooling, that would be great news for consumers who wouldn't have to spend so much on everyday items. Interest rates would also drop, including mortgage rates, making it more affordable to borrow to buy a home. But mortgage rates aren't going to change based on this fishy data. The bottom line is that we need to wait until December when we have more reliable data on inflation. I'm Daryl Fairweather, Redfin's chief economist. If you'd like more insights into how the economy is changing and how that impacts you, follow for more.